Yes, the throat was missing. Let's discuss Nolan Wells' autopsy that was released today. The word undetermined was used in the preliminary autopsy findings for the second autopsy involving Nolan Wells. That means the pathologist could not determine either the cause.
It's gonna be hard. He should be at football practice right now. Yeah. Calling me after practice, Dad, I made this play or I made that play, or I get a text with 3 or 4 videos of him doing this, running this route, making this block. And what you think I should do? And I will give my honest, because I always tell them, if anyone is going to be totally honest with you, it's going to be me. And it's not because I'm being mean, but people outside of your family are going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to know to make you better.
Findings for the second autopsy involving Nolan Wells. That means the pathologist could not determine either the cause or available. According to my notes from today's press conference with Ben Crump, a second autopsy, as we know, was performed, and the pathologist said that the body was heavily decomposed and that the internal neck structures were not with the body when it arrived in Washington, D.C. The pathologist did note that it is a common pathology practice for those structures to be removed during an autopsy and retained by the medical examiner, but because those structures were not available for examination, he could not rule out an injury to the throat or whether there was an accidental drowning or something else, whatever involved the throat. He couldn't rule out or determine if that could have contributed to the. The pathologist also noted that the organs had been removed, which people were concerned about. That's also a standard part of an autopsy, but I know a lot of people were surprised about that. The pathologist also noted an area of red discoloration in the soft tissue on the back of Nolan's head. By itself, that neither proves nor rules out an assault, but it is something that I absolutely think is worth and should be looked into.
Yes, this is going viral on social media. For days now, I've been reporting on this topic, and if you take a look at this, you will clearly see that people are already drawing conclusions. I understand that people will have opinion on this every single time. The autopsy is out, but there is something that people still don't see it. On this video, we are going to find out. I'm going to show you what exactly is going on. Since this started, the whole case was turning into a race issue, and I already saw divisions coming in to play.
What do you mean the front of Nolan's neck was missing? I'm about to explain, but we finally got the independent autopsy report that his family had done, and we got some crazy findings. Trigger warning, but first we found out that Nolan was given back without the front of his neck, stating that during the first autopsy, it was removed by the examiner for further examination. For a sheriff department that keeps saying there's no signs of foul play, you guys keeping his neck says a lot. We found out that Nolan might have been hit in the back of the head because they found red discoloration about 12 by 8 inches in length. The examiner also kept his lungs, so again, the independent autopsy was not able to check if he actually drowned or if he had, water in his lungs. Also, the examiner did say they had trouble looking for bruising due to how far the body was decomposing. But the independent examiner says that they are not ruling out foul play, that they cannot determine how he passed away. So basically, we have to wait for the autopsy from the police. The sheriff keeps saying that there's no foul play involved, right? But for your examiner to remove the front of his neck, stating that it needs to be examined further, and for y'all to still not be able to tell us if there was water in his lungs or not. Okay.
Yes, everybody is having an opinion when this is concerned. Gina Milan posted this on X. NAACP now amid the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells may have been an accident. After this of heaping this as another race strategy and rushing to paint it as a foreplay because the teen was black and with white friends, the narrative is crumbling. The left and race hustlers should be ashamed for exploiting these poor boys there to push division. Let the full investigation and facts speak, not the usual grief. Prayers for Nolan's family. You know, if you look at what Ben Crump actually put out, you realize there is still a lot going on.
Crump says that there was something on Nolan Wells' skull, his head, that revealed a possible injury, a possible head injury. This is more complicated than it seems. Crump said that it was the focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue in the back of the head. And so that suggests with red discoloration that there might have been some sort of injury. Crump did not elaborate on that. Now we should say, and we are not medical professionals, but WebMD talks about this, and we've actually seen this in other autopsies where when a body is put on a slab, that can cause discoloration, that can cause the pooling blood. Now we don't know that happened here, but we do know that this independent autopsy followed the official autopsy where presumably Nolan Wells' body was put on a slab. So in terms of what caused this discoloration, this redness, Crump never elaborated. We certainly don't know.
He talked about the second autopsy performed on Nolan Wells revealed marked decompensation or changes. Marked decompensation can obscure the presence and absence of bruising on the skin surface, especially during a second autopsy.
Yes, if you take a look at what Seraphic posted on social media, Ben Crump reviews preliminary findings from independent autopsy of Nolan Wells. Ben Crump held a press conference today to discuss these. According to the pathologists, the examination was significantly limited due to the advanced state of decomposition. In addition, not all body parts were available for review during the independent autopsy, further limiting the ability to reach definitive conclusions. This is not unusual in a second autopsy, as certain organs and tissues sample may have already been returned during the original medical examinations for testing, documentations, or evidence preservation. Among the findings discussed was an area of red discolorations on the back of Nolan's head, which the pathologist stated requires additional testing. If you take a look at this whole situation, you realize everybody is having an opinion, and it is extremely concerning. Looking at the autopsy, there is still nothing there that can prove to someone that there was foreplay. Even TMZ here is admitting it. But there are still some people that will still struggle to twist everything, to fit in the narrative. I'm already saying they're questioning, why is it that this thing happened here? At some point, like I said, allow the investigation to go on. Yeah, this is the independent autopsy. Let's wait and see the end result. People should not rush into putting out conclusions on what is happening. It's crazy. I don't want to talk much. I want to appreciate people supporting, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. As of the short clips you see at the end, that is for the white algorithm. I will always update you to show you what exactly is.
I don't believe he drowned. But I'm a judge that has to weigh all the evidence. Preliminarily, that's what I see.
We're live on this man just disgusts me.
Of that UFC fight, because to me that does not celebrate America's 250th anniversary.
Monday night gave the president and his acolytes an opportunity where the gladiator's god was praised for his
80th birthday. When you come for the rest.
6-1 underdog. How good does this feel?
Never do this again.
Went under to jurors, but it was shown.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. So with all eyes on California, you can see exactly what's happening.
It goes on here in the Golden State.
In 39 days, we will know.
Fun of people.
And so this is my life.
You're talking about qualification.
Odysseus.
Telemachus. Penelope.
Antinous. Odysseus.
Athena. Telemachus.
This clip of Elliot Page is going to be what takes the Odyssey movie. It's supposed to be a warrior, right? A warrior, a big, strong warrior. Look how Elliot Page is running.
One thing I feel really fortunate about